defensive attitude. I majored in political science, and part of the course was you engage in dialogue regarding legislation, government actions, and foreign policy. And I felt that every time I criticized what our government was doing or a certain policy, I was faced with some students felt like I was being anti-American, or that I hated our government, or that I hated our country. Which is unfortunate because that's not true. Just because you criticize something does not mean you hate it. You know, it's on the contrary, I care enough about my country and I care enough about my government that I am willing to stand up and voice my opinion when I believe our government is doing something that is not correct. And on the other side, on the flip side, I also like to encourage and applaud my government when it does something that I see is fit. And finally, there's the constant harassment on social media. Anytime I engage in political discourse or I comment on a thread, people always seem to attack me personally instead of engaging with the content of my arguments.
Great, thank you. So I know you mentioned there's a lot of uncertainties that you have to go through, but I think all the negativity that you had to undergo was actually positive for you. You turned it into something positive. You've done great things in your undergraduate years. I've known him for quite a while, and you're currently attending law school, so that's awesome. Now, I want you to tell me, with the current travel ban, did that add any additional uncertainty or fear?
Yes, of course, not only to my life personally, but of course to all Arabs and Muslim Americans in the country. What the travel ban does, it technically strips away your status as a U.S. citizen or as a resident, because now you have to fear if you're going to leave your country, you will not be welcome back, which is very concerning, of course. And it also forces people to take certain decisions that they should not be forced to. For example, the person whose father is passing away, who's dying in their home country, now has to decide whether do you risk not being able to come back to the country and see your father, or do you stay here and not be able to say goodbye to your father? And these are decisions that no person should be forced to make. But as Ms. Saltz stated, the ban has temporarily been halted by the courts. And even though